Hey, ever been in one of those meetings where the discussion just seems to go on and on and on, circular and circular? Do you feel like you're going down the drain and then you have another meeting because you didn't quite get to what you're supposed to be talking about and you completely forget what you're talking about because the discussion just kept on going. Well, I might have a quick tip or a little tool, interesting tool that might help solve some of that. I'm Matt. I'm from Emberry Solutions, and I help teams work together more efficiently and effectively. So, again, when you're in a meeting, there's always lots of discussion. Sometimes the discussion is important, but one discussion layers over another discussion, and before you know it, you're really not talking about what the meeting was for originally. So, the other day, I was preparing for a workshop that I knew that there was a lot of ideas that needed to be discussed out loud. Now, typically, I will eliminate discussion altogether by doing a simple note and vote, and you can look up what that is in some of my material. But this one wouldn't allow for that because we had to actually talk about the ideas. Now, again, one idea can turn into a spoke of several ideas, and before you know it, you're not really talking about what you're supposed to be talking about anymore. So what I did is I have a neat little tool. He is my trusty little rubber chicken, and there's a lot of myth and legend around this guy and how this tactic works. So one of the nobody really came from. I've heard it's coming from the service design people. I've heard this was a method that Microsoft used or even Google used to control a discussion in a large group where there's a lot of ideas and you're worried about people talking over each other. So basically, the way I've learned it is if you have the chicken, you can talk. Nobody else can talk and interrupt you, but you're on a time limit. So chicken plus time. So like 2, 3 minutes to discuss or pitch your idea or talk about whatever you need to talk about. And then you toss the chicken to somebody else and they get time to talk. Another tactic is a chicken sits in the middle of the room. And if somebody's talking and talking and talking, and you realize, oh, we've discussed this point. He just changed a little bit. You come up, you grab the chicken, and it just stops everything. It breaks up the discussion, and then you kind of say, hey, we've kind of gone over this, and it's a little bit harder to do, but when everybody has the free will to use the interrupter chicken, in this case, it helps. It actually brings down the level of stress and not worrying about interrupting each other as much because you're doing it for professional reasons. You're not just going, oh yeah, and so said this, and I yeah, that was a good idea, and completely obliterating the discussion of that other person was talking about. But by hitting the chicken, it stops the discussion and you can kind of bring out your point to why you stopped the discussion. I like the first one personally. It's the one if you have the chicken and you have some time, you're allowed to talk. It sequences the discussion around an idea, and then once you're done, you've gone around the room. I wouldn't do this with more than 5 to 8 people in a room, but it's the best way to kind of sequence a discussion, and everybody knows who's talking because they're holding a big yellow chicken. There were a few other tactics on like not interrupting people that a friend of mine, Tara from Red Blaze Solutions, talks about, and I'll link that post. She has a video of like just certain ways to break the habit of interrupting people and stuff. And take a look at that, see what you think. She's a really good facilitator as well. But yeah, and the only other thing I have is my rubber chicken doesn't have a name, so he's sad. But if you guys have any names for my chicken, my interrupto chicken, or you can only talk when you have the chicken, let me know in the comments. Thanks again.